morning everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're joining me for the first time, a very warm welcome to you. I hope you enjoyed today's video, or one of the many others that are online at the moment, and one of the many more to come. Today's video has been requested by Lee Jones, and Lee has asked how to remove the rear seat quarter panels. Now, like everything on these cars, it's easy when you know how. But if you don't know how, there's a number of screws and clips on these panels that are hidden. And if you don't find those clips and screws and you try to force a panel, you're going to break it. Like most of the others, they're either made from a composite fiberboard or a plastic. Very easy to break, especially now these cars are getting on for 30 years old. So I'm going to show you the proper way to remove this without any damage. Now, before we start, as usual, we're going to have a quick look at the tools. Just a few very basic tools as usual. I do try to keep all of these videos as DIY as possible, so you don't need to rush out and buy thousands of pounds worth of branded tools. These are the cheap tools that you can get from any regular hardware store or supermarket. So to start off with, you're going to need a regular Phillips screwdriver. In addition to that, you're going to need a stubby screwdriver. We're going to need to get to a couple of screws that are in a really tight space, and you're not going to get a regular screwdriver in there. You're also going to need a pick tool, something with a hook on the end. It needs to be a hook. You'll see why as the video goes along. And finally, you're going to need a 17mm ratchet. Now, what's different about these, again, because of the location we need to get to, you can't use the regular size socket piece. So you're either going to need to use your regular socket piece with a short extension or a long bodied socket piece, 17mm. And that's all the tools you're going to need for this part of the job. So if we get started just at the front here, by the way, I should mention I've removed the seat, but you don't need to remove the seat. I've only removed it purely for videoing purposes, to give better access for the filming and for me to demonstrate to the best of my ability. So to start off with, we're going to remove this step piece here. Now, it's not essential to remove this, but as I've already said, these things are getting very fragile now, and although you may be able to bend this panel out of the way without removing this, there is a risk that you're going to snap off the end here. So to avoid that, for the sake of 4 screws, we're just going to remove this step. One, 2, 3, and 4. So less than 30 seconds work, and you've saved yourself a lot of heartache. Now, the step is further held in by a few clips behind, but these come out really easy, so you can literally just tuck your fingers under there and pull it up. The screws become disabled, the clips become disabled because we've removed the scripts that hold them open, the screws rather, that hold them open. So they come off really easily now. Just put that to one side. Now we're going to move around to the rear of the car. Now, this is a perfect opportunity for me to bring up something that someone's asked about. I'm sure every single one of you has come up with the problem of this rear parcel shelf. When you unclip it or go to clip it in, more often than not, the damn thing comes unclipped at the bottom, flies up and hits you in the face. Well, that's a problem we don't have to put up with anymore. At last, Mitsubishi has listened to the problems and they've done something about it. So let's look at how that problem's been solved. On these initial clips that go on either side, you see this is the only thing that held the parcel shelf in. But now there's an updated version, and you can see they've added an additional clip. Now, this will stop the parcel shelf flying out so easily. It fits in nice and tight now, and it's less of a problem. Now, these parts can be ordered now. These are the part numbers you need for your left and right parts. So if you pop down to your local Mitsubishi dealer, those are going to cost you around about £25, about $30. And to save that problem, I think it's worth every penny. Especially as if you haven't looked after your car over the years, you'll see these plastic pieces are now starting to break up, discolour, the paint's coming off. So for that a small amount of money, your problem's solved. So while we're in the back of the car, we're going to lift out the parcel shelf and put that to one side. Now we need to remove this retaining assembly here. Single screw just in there. And then that's off nice and easy. Lay that down, and that's all we need to do in the back. Okay, so now we're back in the interior of the car, and at this point what I'm going to show you from this side is how to remove this lower seat. Now many of you will already know this, but for those of you that don't, if you look down here, you'll see a clip that you can get 2 fingers behind, and there's the same on the other side. All you need to do is pull those 2 clips forward and then pull up on the seat, and then it comes out as easy as that. So I'm going to come out of the car now, bring this outside while the cameraman goes round to the other side. So we're going to start now with a few simple screws. If you pull this lever forward, the back of the seat will come down. You're going to grab your Phillips screwdriver, and we're going to undo a few screws. The first one just here. Then these 2 here. And take off this plastic cover. Carry on with your screwdriver, put the seat back up. Now we come over to this point here. 1 screw. Now we're going to pull the seat belt down a little bit and out, and then you see we've got another screw in here. And then this cover rather, is normally held in by 4 little clips, but as that came away I can tell that these have been broken in the past. So I will just show you those. Okay, yeah, really broken. So this one here, you should have 2 more there. And to get this off normally, all you would do is push it to one side, pull it out on one side, then bring it back and pull out the other side. It comes out quite easily, and how on earth they've managed to break those, I do not know. And then you can just leave that there for now. But behind there, you'll see another little screw that most people miss, and they end up trying to yank these things out and do damage. So just grab that screw there. I just got to try not to drop this, but if I do, it doesn't matter because we're taking the cover off, and the screw will just be behind when we take the cover off. So now we move on to something that's a little bit more tricky, and so many people break this section when they try to get them out. And as usual, it's a case of knowing what's behind, and if you know that, it's a lot easier to do the job. So this is the unit, this way round. If we flip it over, you're going to see that we've got 1 clip here, 1 here, and 1 on the other side. Those 3 clips hold it in. But the problem is you can't pull up on that because the clips are designed to stop it coming off. In addition to that, we've got a screw here. So I'm going to show you how to get that cover off without doing any damage. First thing, pull the seatbelt forward. And as usual, we've got a screw missing here, but you would remove that screw from there. Then you're going to need your hook tool. Now what you're going to do is slide your hook tool just to the right of the screw hole. You're going to slide it down in the gap there, and as you slide it, you're going to turn it clockwise so that when you get to the bottom of the plastic section, that will turn fully, so you know exactly where you are in relation to the plastic. So we'll go down. There will be enough gap there, I can assure you, and turn as we go down, and then I felt it hook underneath. Once it's hooked underneath, you're going to pull slightly towards you and up at the same time, and then that plastic clip should unhook like so, and the cover comes off nice and easy. Now it's time for your ratchet. Set to undo. Down the back here we've got a 17mm bolt. I don't know if the camera can quite get in there. And we'll put the ratchet onto the bolt, and then we'll start undoing. Now it should be really tight, and just a reminder, your seatbelt is a safety item in this car, as in any car. When you go to refit it, remember to follow the manufacturer's instructions as far as a thread lock glue goes and the torque that you need to set it to. And there's one other thing I need to point out here. You've got some glass very nearby. Just watch you don't slip with your ratchet, or when you go to take it off the nut you slip and break your glass. It is a toughened glass, so one small impact and it will just shatter all over the place. That's quite a long bolt. Okay, work that off nice and slow. And then that's your seatbelt taken off. Now we come over to this side. You're going to need to remove this seatbelt. Now to do that, you've got a plastic cover over the bottom bolt. All you do is get your fingers underneath, pull it outwards, and then slide it up. Nice and easy. Your bolt's revealed. Now this is going to be another really long bolt. If it's not too rusty, you might be lucky enough to be able to do it with your fingers. Oh, it's gone tight again. There we go. And then finally we're back up to the top of the seatbelt, and this one's got a cover on which is a little bit trickier to get off. So what you're looking to do is use your little hook tool to get inside a little gap there and pull forward, and then that just unclips to reveal the bolt. Okay, well, that's done. Just 2 screws left, and these are the ones that you need your stubby screwdriver for, and they're quite well hidden, and a lot of people don't find these again and end up doing damage. So we've got one just here and one here. As you can see, we're in a very confined space, so a regular screwdriver may not get in there. That's one. And that's 2. Now I just wanted to point out, I just noticed some of this fabric coming away. That's nothing to do with what I just did with dismantling. It's purely that this, you can see, is all breaking up with old age. The previous owners did not look after it, and we're going to be replacing this. Now just so you all know, over the period of the next year or so while I do all these videos, you're going to see this car completely stripped. I'm going to show you how to do every single panel inside and out. We're going to discuss the electrical system, all the control boxes. The body's going to get resprayed properly, not with masking tape, but a proper respray. And then the whole lot's going to be reassembled with all of the damaged, broken, old and brittle parts all being replaced. So it looks practically like a new car. And you're going to get to see that as we go through this video series. And at the end of that, this car will be available for sale in a beautiful condition with a full history that you're going to know all about all the way through. So that's the last of the screws undone. All we need to do now is just lower the seat a little bit. And sorry, I forgot to mention, all the screws are done, but behind here there is a couple of clips. You've got them around about here, here and here. Usually this would just come out, pop out quite easily. You don't need any special tools, and then you're free. Now, of course, that cover was on there, but all you need to do is turn it 90 degrees and it'll slip through that hole there, along with all the rest of the seat belt. Off the back there, and we're done and free. So that's that job completed. Now, if I remember, was it Lee Jones who requested this video? Thanks very much to you, Lee, for requesting it. If you've enjoyed this video and you would like me to do a video of any other part of the car as we go along, please request it. All I ask is that you give me your name and the country that you're from. I don't want that for any detailed reasons other than so other people around the world know who's requesting these videos and where they are. It just helps us to be more of a community. So if you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe. Once you're subscribed, you can click on the bell and you'll get automatic updates of the videos. I'm trying to complete one a week. Sometimes I'll do one extra one, sometimes I'll do one less, but more or less one a week. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks for watching.